Welcome back to the 8th tutorial in the Python 3.7 video series. In this tutorial, we're going to be going over while loops in Python. What is a loop? A loop is simply a block of code designed to pass a test and run over and over again until the loop no longer passes the test or it ends. For example, what we can do here is set a variable equal to num. And let's first make this number 1 and hit enter. So we have a variable called num, then that's equal to 1. How can you set a while loop? You can set a while loop by typing while num is, let's say, num is less than 10, execute this block of code. This is really similar to an if statement, but the only thing is the block of code that's going to be executed is going to keep running until the test is no longer true. So let's write while num is greater than 10, print num, like this. If we were to hit enter, this would be forever printing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So what we need to do after this is say num equals plus equals 1. What does this mean? This basically means that every time that this while loop runs this bit of code, num is going to add 1 to what it already is. So on the first iteration that it runs, it's going to print 1, then it's going to print 2, then it's going to print 3, then it's going to print 4 until it gets to 9, when it will no longer be complying to the test, and then it's going to end. So let's run this program. And as you can see, it prints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go over this again. So basically what we did was we said while this condition was true, num is less than 10, print the number, and every time it runs number plus 1, and then it does that. So let's do this again, but this time, let's use while num is less than 1,000, like this. If we hit enter, let's print num, and then this time let's do num is plus equal to 2. You might be wondering, why don't you just do num plus 1 every single time? But num plus 1 won't work, because that's just going to make it on that iteration. What num plus equals 1 basically does is it's the equivalent of doing num equals num plus 1. If we run this, it'll get the same thing, just 1,000 times by doing num equals num plus 1. So let's do the same thing right here. Print num, but this time let's do num plus equals 2, like this, and hit enter. And if we hit enter, it stayed on the previous iteration. So I need to reset num to, num equals 1, and then we can run this loop. There. Now if we run it, we can see that it iterates by 2 every time. See, 19, 21, 23, and it keeps going like that. Another version of this loop is to use the while true. So by using while true, this has to be while true, then whatever you put here, it's going to run forever until you turn true to false. True is called a Boolean value, which means it's either true or false. Those are the two Boolean values. So while true means it's always going to run. So while true, print, let's say print 4 or 3 plus 1. If we hit enter, it's going to continue printing 4 forever. And as you can see, this keeps going up. And you should not try this ever because it could slow your computer down. So I'm just going to end it by doing Control-C. And that's going to be keyboard interrupt. And yeah, that's it. So that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. And I'll see you in the next video. So until then, goodbye.